Here we go. Any last questions? Literally 2 more minutes, and then we are gonna get going, so we can get right into it. For some reason, this volume button won't go away now, and I can't click on the chat. Let me move this. Here we go. I'll just move it up to there. Perfect. Now it goes away as well. Is this live? This is live. Indeed, it is. It will be available. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Do not worry. Pen and paper ready. Perfect. Let's do this. Let's do this. Sadly, Samuel, I do not recommend any brokers. You have to do your own research. Yes, the chat is private, so it's literally you guys can't see your own messages. I feel like you're able to see them now because it's on the screen. But it's if anyone gets any like worried to ask a question, you don't need to because it is directly to myself. Complete beginner, only been in a signal group. Will this be no? I mean, we're going to go through a bunch of stuff, so I think it will be all good to go. But yeah, I think let me just double check if we are all good to start, and then we can get going. We can get going. Yes, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I know everyone's asking about the brokers. Sadly, no promotions, guys. Okay, no promotions. No promotions. Last one. I will go through everything for you, Paul, so don't even worry. I use the higher time frames and execution on the lower time frames. So let me know. I think we can go. Okay, I've hidden that. And then we can go. All right. So first things first, obviously, again, huge welcome to the masterclass. I appreciate you guys being here. I assume you guys can hear me because we've been talking. And if you can't hear me, pop it in the chat. If you're like, oh wait, actually, I don't know what's going on. You're moving too fast. So do let me know in the chat. But before we get going, I know we've already kind of jumped into talking to each other. But let me know where you guys are from and how long you have been trading for, just so we get to know each other a little bit better. Oh, I did not mean to exit that, but let me know what's going on and how long you've been trading for, where you're from. London, trading about a year. London, Signal Group, Reading, Watford, nice. Slovakia, Bournemouth, Wales, London, nice. Nice. Oh my gosh, the chat's moving so fast, guys. I can't even read everything. Perfect. Nice. 1 year. Manchester. Perfect. Okay. Nice. Newcastle, Leeds, Canada. Here we go. Welcome, Canada. Nice. Okay, perfect. Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Perfect. So we'll go through why I asked you that in later down the line. But if you guys, are wondering, okay, cool, I'm excited for this masterclass. What are we going to do? What is the plan? The first thing that we're going to go through is why a lot of you guys are stuck. Okay, so like, what is the reason that traders are unprofitable and you can't gain that consistency? And then number two, it's all well and good knowing the problem, but how do you actually fix it, right? So we'll go over things such as the quality over quantity, everything, how I do things that allows me to stay consistently profitable and actually stay away from the problem of unprofitability, right? And then number three, I think could be a very, very useful one for you guys, which I'll be showing my live screen and my live charts going through a trade from this week, which I sadly missed out on, but it was there available for the strategy, so we can go through all of that and you guys can see exactly how things work step by step and obviously then to finish off how what we've covered today will actually help you guys going forward in the future. So before we get going, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Nat and I'll be the one showing you around a little bit and teaching you hopefully some useful things that you can implement into your trading as this masterclass comes to an end. And I've been trading for 5+ years, coming up to 6, so might have to change that soon. It's been a crazy journey. It's been so long. A little bit of deeper background. It took me 2.5 years to become profitable. I taught myself. I didn't have a mentor. I was literally watching the most random videos. I was doing the most random thing. And this is where the gold story comes in, because after I found some consistency, or what I thought maybe was some consistency, I then decided to be a little bit overconfident and decided to trade gold, right? Strictly before that, I was just trading Forex, so currencies, but I decided to trade gold. And then what happened, my account, just to give you a little bit of background, was at 1.2 slash £1,000. So as you know, that's not really a big account, right? However, I decided to be confident and risk £200 per trade. So because I decided to risk that, I lost. Right, I lost £200. Then I was like, there's no way I can be losing. Like, I am basically the pro. Like, what do you mean? What is going on? So I decided to take another trade and then another one, another one, another one. And in 20 minutes, I'd lost £800. And it might seem like, oh, £800 isn't like a crazy loss. You know, we thought you were going to tell us you lost like 20K. Like, no, no, no. Like, this loss hurt me the most because not only did I work so hard to build up my account to that 1000 slash 1.2K mark, but then I just blew it in 20 minutes. So after that point, I was like, you know what, I'm really going to focus. And obviously, I'll go into the story a little bit more as we go on. But that is why I don't trade gold, because I lost £800 in the space of 20 minutes after it took me so long to get to, you know, the small account size that I had. And obviously, the risk management wasn't even there. So if you guys are like, well, why are you losing 800? Because I had no discipline, no patience, no risk management, like no anything really. I was just hitting and hoping and be like, yeah, you know, why not? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this doesn't work. So that's the little story of the goal. So I strictly just trade forex, which I just say currencies because you know there's a bunch of there's kind of a bad ring to it because due to the social media side of it. So currencies, and I like to travel. Obviously, you know, you have a bunch of free time, so I can just do whatever, whenever. And I love cars. This is the RS6. If you guys have had the chance to, or you know, are thinking of getting one or driving one, I highly recommend. It is an absolute monster of a car. Trying to figure out what my next car is going to be, but we'll see. We'll see. This one is very cool. And being able to travel, I mostly switch locations between obviously the UK and America, and especially when the weather in the UK is a little bit dodgy. And in America, I also have chickens. So also another recommendation there. If you guys have the chance to get some chickens and get your own fresh eggs, I 100% recommend. I know it's funny, but trust me, once you know understand and actually taste the difference between your eggs and you know what's going in there compared to like store eggs, you never want to go back. But yeah, that's really a little bit about myself. And again, I'll be talking about the trading style and how hopefully I can change and give you some tips that will improve your trading alongside and after this masterclass. So if you are in here, thank you so much again, and you are for sure in the right room and in the right place to make a change. Okay, but before we go into that, I know I've introduced myself. I do want to show you guys what my trading actually looks like. Okay, so these are just a few of my results. These two, like the 23.7K is my biggest record trade. Okay, this happened in December, and as you guys know, December usually isn't the most volatile, isn't the most clean markets, the clean conditions. However, actually last December, I managed to hit my record trade, and then after that, I managed to hit a 20.5K trade. So honestly, last December was the best December I've had ever, because I don't know, with just two trades, I was able to make almost, just over 40,000, which is insane. Like, I never thought being and having the account of 1,000 or 1.2K, I would be able to, gain these results and be like, actually, I've just made what my salary, even more than what my salary used to be in my job, which we'll go through in a sec, in just a singular trade. So super crazy, but I'm beyond grateful. And then just some other results as well, 12K, 16K, 7K. And I did want to include a loss in here as well, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, like, look at my wins, but losses happen too. Okay, that's just the journey, and that's the whole point of trading. No strategy is 100%. There's thousands of strategies out there that work. Okay, however, they all have losses. What I'm trying to do with the intraday to swing trading strategy is actually avoid the unnecessary losses, because there's so many losses that you can avoid just by staying out and just by waiting for the last step of your strategy to happen, or you don't skip over steps, whatever. Just holding yourself accountable and having the discipline allows you to avoid so many unnecessary losses. And once I finally understood that, I was able to continuously make money and become profitable, because I was like, I don't need to rush into anything. There's no point, because okay, I know I see someone, on Instagram posting their win on, NZD CAD, but I'm not even close to an entry, which is fine. And it helps with your psychology as well when you have a strict plan. So losses, it happens. It happens. Sometimes you follow the strategy to the T and you lose. That is literally just part of trading. Now, I'm not here to sell you a fake dream and be like, hey, if you learn swing trading, you're never going to have any losses or anything like that. It's all part of it. And obviously, with that comes the good stuff, right? Although, the journey is tough, but you do get some good memories. For me personally, like I mentioned, I do like to travel and see new places, but my biggest thing is my family and my parents. Like, they have done so, so much for me. And being able to go on holiday or taking them here, doing something for them and with them is what I care about the most, So I know this is a picture of me also unwrapping or taking the little cover off the RS6 as well, which was such a cool moment. And then, different places for holidays, which is super fun. Like, it's super, super fun. But it's not, always easy. And it's not like I'm not going to tell you, hey, learn how to become a swing trader. Next week you'll have a Lambo. Sadly, it's not how it works. I wish I could give you guys the magic tool, but there isn't one. It is a tough journey, but it's more than possible if you actually put your head down and if you actually focus. As you can see from before. But I wasn't always here, right? This is me. The left hand side is me when I first started trading in my little room here, staring at a screen. And at the time, I had like the MT5 version on desktop, and I had like 5 or 6 different charts up. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, and it just looked a little bit crazy, which it was because I was doing the most random things. And then this is me, like I mentioned before, in my 9 to 5. I was used to be a real estate agent, so showing and selling houses for people. So it wasn't like, oh, just magically made it to this point. It was just like a regular process, like for anyone else. I'm just a normal person, just like you, and just like me, had to go through the same journey. And then on the right hand side is obviously me sitting, watching the YouTube videos, having some sort of charts up open, thinking that I knew what I was doing, or maybe pretending like I did, and then taking notes because I did really want it. But the problem was that I was sat there glued to the screen all the time, right? Like, I was over trading every single day because I just wanted to win so badly. I was blowing accounts, like I said, staring at the screen, and I didn't have time to. When I was first learning, I was still at school, went to uni, then I went to the 9 to 5. I'm still trying to learn. So it's not like I magically learned in like a week or something. It was literally just like you guys, trying literally any spare minute, trying to be productive and focus on actually making me profitable. But as you know, I was losing, and I was looking for new strategies, and I did actually quit. I quit a few times because I was like, you know what, I'm 2 years in. How long is this actually going to take? And I'm sure you've been through this before, or maybe you currently are. And I want to talk about the unprofitability cycle because this is something that I was in all the time, right? Up until I became profitable. So I would watch these videos and I'd be like, oh, you know what? I really like this person's strategy. Let me try it. So I'd learn it. I would, really, really think about it. And I would like, you know what? This actually works. I like it. It's giving me a few quick wins. And then I would get too confident, just like the example with the gold. And then I would get into a losing streak because I literally forgot everything that I knew. I'd be like, you know what? Nah, I'm just going to make more money, just going to enter early. I'm just going to do this, do that. And put myself into this cycle of bad habits, right? So I've gone from having a new strategy, winning, and being like, oh, I'm so close. Like, I know that feeling, right? Where you're so close to becoming profitable, but you don't know what you're missing, but it's just this one thing, but you can feel it. And then you get into a losing streak. And then you're like, well, where did that come from? So then you start doubting everything, like me. Then I decided to switch again, and I was like, oh, you know what? I actually like this person's video. Now I like this one and this one. Mix them all together, start again, new strategy, and the cycle just goes on and on and on and on because I don't know what I'm doing, right? And it's so, so easy to try and turn this and be like, you know what? I think I just need more time and experience. Like, you're blaming everything else but yourself, and actually you don't understand the reason as to why you are unprofitable. That was me, right? Even, you could be thinking this, I was thinking this, oh, I just need more time and experience, it'll work out. Or I've tried strategies before, none of them have worked. So I'm like doubting everything, not knowing what is actually the root and what is the cause of the problem of me being unprofitable, right? And then, you start coming up with excuses like, oh, trading is just too risky, maybe it's not for everyone. When I start quitting because I'm fed up, I'm like, sorry, how long is this going to take, right? I don't have enough capital. Again, it's an excuse and it's blaming something else rather than what the actual problem is. I'm close to figuring it out and I'm just missing one thing. This is the exact thing that I was talking about. I felt this moment so many times and I was like, oh, I'm almost there, almost there. But actually, I wasn't, right? So if that sounds familiar, how many of you guys have been stuck in this cycle? Let me know. If that sounds familiar, if I was the only one who went through it, let me know. Let me know, 100%. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, so I can see a lot of you guys are. So with that being said, how long do you think you've been stuck in it? Still in it? Yeah, been there, yeah. Are you currently in it, or you think over a year, been there 2 years, still in it? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's literally never ending because you don't know what, the actual cause of this is. You're just going round and round and round in circles until finally you get fed up, right? Just like I did. I was like, right, that's it now. Too much. But again, I want you to know by sharing that and by sharing my experience, like you're not alone. Like all these other people are going through it and I went through it, but still, that is not what the real problem actually is, right? When I asked you guys, where you guys are from and how long you've been trading for, it's also to give you guys a perspective onto this. Like, we're all from different backgrounds, okay? We have different strategies, we have different accounts, we have different experiences. However, we're all facing the same exact fundamental problems, okay? And all of these problems come back to one thing, right? So it's not, oh, I need to have more time, I need to switch strategies, not any of that. It is the trader's trap. And you're probably like, okay, what is the trader's trap? Well, the trader's trap is basically where traders focus on losing to the markets because they're blaming something else. Whereas the real reason as to why they're losing is because of their own opinion of it. Okay. And this isn't a simple fix. It's not fixed by experience because even from my example, I was 2 years in and still unprofitable. And I know some of you guys have been trading even longer, and are struggling. So it's not like, oh, that excuse of I need a little bit more time or, I need more screen time. It actually hurts you more because more screen time just gives you more opinions. And I've got this picture up here because I just want you guys to visualize this for a sec. So picture this. This is Joey. He's literally just a regular person. He has a family, he has kids, and he has a job, right? He's literally just like all of us. And the thing is, he really wants trading to work out for him. Every single day that he comes home from work, he's obviously exhausted. He has kids and he has a wife that he wants to spend time with, right? That's why he's learning to trade to just, give them the life that they deserve and give them the time that they deserve. So he's there. He even has a mug that says, trade again, right? And as you can see, his account is in the negative. He has been in this cycle for so long and he doesn't know what's wrong with it, okay? Because there are some weeks where Joey is profitable or he thinks that he's gaining consistency, right? Because he's had a good day at work and his family's good, there's no arguments. He comes home, he has a clear mind, he's like, you know what, I'm ready. This doesn't look like a clean setup, I'm not going to take it. And then he picks out the real good ones and he's like, you know what, actually this makes sense because I have a clear head, the opinion of the market is good, okay? But then the next week comes around and that completely changes because he has a bad day at work. Maybe he's had an argument with his wife. Maybe his kids running around, being loud, and they're like, oh, you have to take me to this club, do this or do that, help me with homework, whatever it is. It's just like real life, right? Real hectic life that we all live. And then he's not able to replicate what he just did last week, even though he was so happy and he was on the right path of actually getting it. He made money, right? But then he gets in his head and starts creating more opinions on the markets and is like, oh, well, actually, let me take this now. Let me enter early because I'm going to make more money. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then that's where the whole cycle comes in again. Because although it was good for a little bit, but it's not repeatable. He can't do the same exact thing because he has no process, right? So let me know if that kind of makes sense. But essentially, to break it down even more, it's like the trader's trap is no strategy or framework, just like Joey. He comes in, he lets his opinion decide. Whether he's in a good mood, great. He might win a couple trades, he might even end the month profitable. And he's like, great, that's amazing. Now I'm almost a profitable trader. Let me repeat that next month. Next month comes around, his opinion changes, right? Because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just kind of guessing. And now that he's in a bad mood or he has all these things going on, he's losing. And he's like, well, I didn't really do anything different. Well, he did because his opinion is the thing that is leading him and causing him to either have these wins or these losses. And that brings me to no, he's not selective, okay? No selectivity. The opinion decides what trade. If he's in a good mood, he might, wait a little bit, become a little bit more confident. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna actually wait. And then he hits take profit. But then again, next day, oh yeah, I need to make this money back, or I want to make more, I want to make more. He becomes greedy and he loses. So there's not really anything that he can follow, even though he thinks he's on the right track. There is no process that he can repeat. Whatever his mood is, whatever his opinion on the market is, depending how long and how much time he has to look at them, right? The more time you spend and the more, I'm looking at the chart right now and I'm like, oh my gosh, why haven't I taken a trade yet? And then you start, thinking to yourself, oh, actually, maybe I should be trading, maybe I should be doing this. And you take random trades. That's exactly what I used to do, right? I don't know if you guys do this, but this is exactly the same thing that I used to do. And it doesn't work, okay? It doesn't work. Like me, hundreds of YouTube videos, switching strategies, copying signal groups from gurus, okay? We will go into signal groups a little bit later on, but I have a very, very strong opinion on signal groups. Stacking indicators, thinking that someone's like, oh, hey, use this indicator and it's going to tell you when to buy, when to sell. They're a little bit delayed, okay? So it's always going to be hard for an indicator to be the magic tool. And more screen time, okay? This comes into the more experience. Usually that's how it works, right? You have more experience, you learn a few things, which is fine. But if you're still focusing on the wrong thing, it's going to be almost impossible for you to become profitable. Exactly what happened to me, right? And none of these things fix the problem. The problem again is the trader's trap and the opinion loop, okay? Every single one of these just feed into this, right? Whether it's more videos, that's just more ways to read the markets. You're gaining these bad habits and you're like, you know what? This person says I should trade the 4 hour. Oh wait, but this person says I should trade the daily. This person says I should trade this. When you get just more opinions and then you just get more confused, right? You want to have clarity. You don't want to have confusion. More strategies, again, more rules to second guess. You don't have a set of rules, you're mixing them all. It just doesn't make sense. More indicators, again, more signals to form a view on. You're like, oh yes, this indicator is telling me to buy, so I'm going to do it, even though it's like 10 minutes late, whatever it is, okay? All of these just feed into it. So what the actual problem is, it's not what you think, okay? The only thing that works from this is becoming a sniper. Because just picture this, okay? Picture a sniper. A sniper is patient, he's selective, and he never misses, right? A sniper isn't someone who, takes out their gun and starts spraying and hoping that one of those hits. Let's say he takes 20 shots and hopes that one hits. He actually sits there and waits for the right shot. So he has confidence and he knows exactly what he's looking for. He's not just spraying and hoping, right? So I want to ask you guys the question of, would you rather be as a person who just sprays and hopes to hit one trade out of 20? Or would you rather sit there and be like, you know what? I know exactly what I'm looking for. I've got the sniper, I've got the target, and I'm gonna pull the trigger because I know what I want. You know? Sniper, sniper. Yeah. It's just like because it's just simple. Like you don't wanna just hope, you don't wanna be Joey. You don't wanna be repeating random things. You wanna be repeat something that actually does work. So, how does this actually look when it's applied to the charts, right? So, obviously, the three things come in again. Selectivity. You are super selective, like the sniper. You're waiting, you're aiming, you're thinking, all right, this is the time to pull the trigger. Or if the target's unclear, things are getting in the way, you're moving, whatever it is, you don't pull it. So, you are selective. You have structure. You know exactly what you're waiting for, right? You know who the target is. You're not just making up and be like, oh, I'm just going to do this, you're just going to do this. Like, you know exactly what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. Then it allows you to perform confident execution. You've waited, you've planned, and you've executed. It's honestly pretty simple. And we're going to go through all of these separately, just a little bit of an insight for you guys. So, having a swing trading strategy in place comes into the selectivity, okay? Because this is what removes the stressful guesswork and allows you to trade accordingly to your life, okay? Instead of being a slave to the screen. So, like, if you just take an example of like scalping, right? Scalping, you might have a profitable strategy in scalping right now. That might be it. But I just want you guys to think about this. Like, how long do you see yourself being glued to the screen for, right? Is that something you want to do even if you are profitable right now, right? Would you rather still be profitable, say make the same amount of money or potentially more by being more selective, you have more confidence and actually a higher probability that the trade will actually play off because you've waited, you've stayed patient, and then you can relax a little bit more, because scalping is great, it's all good, if you're profitable, amazing, but how much longer do you want to spend that time looking at the screen and waiting for that strategy? We're looking on the 1 minute time frame, looking at the 5, looking at the 15. How much longer do you want to be doing that for? It's just a little question. Then when it comes to structure, you identify the high probability setups, exactly what I was talking about. Being an intraday to swing trader, and let me clear this up real quick. Swing trader doesn't mean that we have to hold for a week, that we have to hold for two, for a month, because I know a lot of people are like, well, okay, sounds good, but I don't want to wait that long. I don't want to hold that long. That's absolutely fine. We look to take 4 to 6 trades a month instead of 20 random ones. And with that being said, they are all specifically selected and we wait for them and we don't hold. I personally don't like holding over the weekend. I usually hold, I say the average holding is like 2 to 3 days. Sometimes the trade plays out like it through the night, so it's just one day. But it's never longer than 5 days. I don't think I've even held a trade for 5 days. It's probably like four max. And I don't like holding over the weekend. So if you're stressed, like, oh, I don't want to be a swing trader, don't worry. I just want to clear that one up. But yeah, it's literally having proper selectivity and having good structure, allowing you to take those 4 to 6 quality trades rather than being the sprayer and hoping that one of those 20 hits, because it becomes really, really hard to repeat that the next week, like Joey. And again, just getting ahead here, a repeatable process you follow every single time, right? So if Joey had a process and it was profitable for that first week or that first month, and then he knows what he did right, he knows what he did wrong, you know? Maybe he's profitable, obviously, he still makes some mistakes. So he's like, oh, actually, I entered too early. I didn't wait for the candle to close. Whatever it is that he has in his rules, he didn't do. So now he can improve that because he knows exactly what to do. It doesn't matter, what's going on in his life, whether he, had an argument with his wife, whether he had a great day at work, whatever it is, he has the step-by-step guide and knows exactly what to follow based off of his rules. So he can repeat this easily. And again, you can plan over the emotions and execute the plan and not let those emotions take over. It's the same exact process, the same discipline, time after time again. Now, the big question is, what about this approach allows it to work better than what you are doing right now? So, once again, the whole point of the comparison comes in, right? Number one, you're not as stressed. Like, I feel like swing trading is way more relaxed than scalping. I'm not, staring at the screen. I do my analysis on the Sunday. I pick my pairs, set my alerts, and turn my phone off, right? And then I wait for those to show up. If the alert doesn't come up, then I don't take the trade. Then I don't even look at the chart because that's already helping you to eliminate the FOMO, the over trading, the revenge trading. Because you're like, oh, all of these people are trading. Why am I not? But the way that you're looking at the charts is slightly different to the way somebody else is, or even your friend or whoever else that's trading is looking at the charts. Okay, everybody has a different process, but if you have one that you can repeat, it already eliminates these bad habits. And again, the same thing about having a profitable strategy now, which requires more screen time. How much do you want to do that for? How much longer are you looking to be, glued to the screen? And when you want to spend time with your family, but you're, scalping on the 1 minute, they're like, okay, look, dinner's ready, come hang out, come play games, whatever it is. You can't do that because you're like, you know what? I can't just give me 5 minutes. This trade's about to play out. The 1 minute time frame is going crazy. And then you sit there because it doesn't happen. Or worst case, you sit there and you take the trade and you end up losing. And then you revenge trade, and you still get into this cycle of the bad habit. So I just want you guys to think about this, like whether you're profitable now or whether you're not profitable and you're looking to, spend more chart time, is that something you want to do? Is that something you see yourself doing in the long term? When you get a little bit older, when you have kids, or when your kids grow up and you want to have a little bit more free time, do you want to be doing that? And again, we can visualize this, okay? This is Joey again, our favorite character. This is him. He doesn't have structure. He wants to become profitable so badly. He has a family. He's going through all of these emotions, right? He's got FOMO, like I talked about. Opening Instagram, looking, oh, this trader's taking a trade on Euro USD, but I'm watching Euro USD. Why am I not taking a trade? So he's like, oh, this person's buying, I'm gonna buy. And then he gets stopped out, but that person still won. But why? Because that person is following a clear structure that they can repeat week after week. Whereas Joey might get lucky, might have a good day at work. Like I said, the emotions are good that day and they, allow him to be a good trader, but he can't repeat that. And all of this is something that he's thinking about. He's uncertain. Should I enter? Should I not? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know if buying this next candle is going to work. I don't know if this is this. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Whatever it is, right? He's questioning. He has all these emotions, and his mug even tells him to trade again, right? That's already extra pressure that he's creating on himself. And with all that being said, right, this hasn't just worked for me. Just having a process and becoming a sniper hasn't just worked for me, okay? Other traders use the same exact framework and it's changed how they trade. Okay, for example, we have Amy. She's got another great week. We've got Brad, caught the GBP NZD for a 1 to 2. Special mention. This happened last week on the GBP USD trade. Matt, he was one of my first students when I opened up the community, and he hit his record trade of 5K last week, right? And he's just a regular guy, just like me, just like you. You know, like we keep saying, he has a family, and he actually another little milestone that he hit before this was when he became profitable and was able to gain that consistency. He took his family on their dream vacation, and I know it might not seem like a lot, people are like, whatever, going on holiday, but it's something that he wanted to do. Not everybody wants to have a Lambo. Not everybody wants to quit their job or do this. Like, I'm pretty sure he's still working his job alongside this. Joe as well, another one of my top students, he is a full-time trader now because he wanted to quit his job. Okay, he didn't want to continue working, whereas Matt maybe has a little different priorities, but whatever it is, it's allowed him to do that because they have something that they can repeat. It's not like, oh, I've got lucky, I made some money, so I'm going to take my family on their vacation, and then they're like, oh, cool, like maybe we can go on a vacation next year or maybe in a few months, and he's like, yeah, for sure, but deep down he knows he's never going to be able to take them because he doesn't have anything to follow. So just by simply having a system and something you can repeat allows you to go into the next week with way more confidence and actually feeling like you can do this and you're not guessing, right? And again, Big M as well. This is what it's all about, AUD, USD. We've got Matt in here. We've got Big M as well. These are one of my earlier students as well. But yeah, special shout out because these are just regular people who just wanted to become profitable, right? Whatever their goal is. But I don't want to focus too much on them because I want you guys to think about yourself, okay? You've just seen what happens when the opinion is removed and the real framework actually takes over, okay? These are all different people that they've got different background, they've got different account sizes, but they've got the same results. Just like you guys, right? You're all different, you have different account sizes, different experiences, but you're facing the same problem. These people have managed to get past that problem and actually gain results, right? So I just want you to take a second and stop thinking about everybody else's story, stop thinking about Matt going on his holiday and Joe quitting his job, and just start thinking about what your journey is looking like or what it would look like. Okay, so one question I want to ask you is, how would your life feel if you could trade without the stress? And by stress, like, pop it in the chat. And by stress, I don't mean like, oh, should I enter, should I do this, or just like regular stress, just being able to have more confidence. Okay, you're not stressed out that you're missing on family time, you're not stressed out that you can't even do anything for yourself, just good, peaceful. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just a small thing that has such a big impact, and it's all about those things, right? Whether it has to do with training or just general life, like, and your emotions, the small things add up and they make a huge change. And now another question is, what would your life look like if trading actually worked around your schedule? Okay, let me know in the chat as well. So it's not you being Joey and sitting, after work, after school, after your other commitments, going and staring at the screen. It's literally have trading work around your life. So your alert goes off, great, easier, yeah. Your alert goes off, and then you look at the charts. Again, it's just small things that add up and have a huge difference. Okay, and then what would your life, no, what would you do with your time if you weren't glued to the charts? So this, again, ties everything together, okay? What would you do? More family time, enjoy myself, spend time with parents, hobbies. Yeah, literally, that's what I'm saying. Like, not everybody wants to buy a Lambo. Like, if you like that, I mean, I personally love cars, but yeah, another motorbike. See, everybody has their different things, and this is something that allows you to do that, just like Matt, just like Joe. So I'm glad that you guys are seeing all this. But quick little recap, what we've covered. Obviously, we've gone through the trader's trap, which is the root of the problem and why traders are actually staying stuck, which is the opinion, right? The opinion of it. They don't have a clear structure. And then the solution is the sniper framework. How do you actually fix this? You're trading with structure, you're being selective, and you know exactly when to execute with confidence. So a quick little check-in. How is everybody feeling so far? If you drop a 1 in the chat to let me know if everything's good, everything's making sense. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, now that we've covered the framework, let me show you guys the actual example of the trade that happened this week. So let me know if you can see my screen now. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to look a little bit different, but let me know if you can see this. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so the trade happened on GBP AUD. The very first thing, before I even go into any of this, I just want to ask you guys a simple question, because the whole point of the strategy is price action, is break and retest. However, none of that matters if we don't know how to identify trend, right? So just off the top of your head, without even doing any analysis, is this a bullish or a bearish trend? Okay, bullish, 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 bullish. Nice, 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 nice. You guys are too good. Too good. Okay, so does everybody know how to actually understand, how to identify the markets, right? So if I was to draw something like this, what is this? Are we bullish or are we bearish? Okay, what about now? Let me know what you think. Unclear, unclear. Bullish, still bullish, change sideways. Okay, okay. So a mix, a mix. So we're actually bearish. Okay, the reason we're bearish, and it looks like we're in an uptrend, right? Because we are going up. So let me show you guys the quickest way and the easiest way you can identify structure. And also a little tip: if you go, obviously we're on the candlestick charts right now, but later when we actually analyze the charts, if you click on the line chart, it changes it to this. So it makes it 10 times easier to be able to see like a change of direction, which we'll cover in a second. So let me see what else, what else. Okay, the way I start my market structure is simple. You just pick a random high and pick a random low. And you can go back, let's say you open the charts, this is what it looks like. You can go back as far as you want, as long as you don't start right here, right? Because if you start right here, then you have nothing to base it off of. So let's say we've got ourselves a high and we've got ourselves a low. So let me just label that real quick for you guys. High, low, perfect. Then what I do, grab my line and draw it at the body. I know this is a line chart at the moment, but we draw it at the body of the candle, at the body of the high and at the body of the low. So now, super, super important thing to consider, anything that is within the high and anything which is within the low is simply market structure. Meaning, this right here is simply market structure because we have not yet body closed below the low, or we have not yet body closed above the high. Okay, so a lot of people actually get confused by this, and I know it looks a little bit easier now because it's just a simple drawing, but so many people get this wrong and then it throws them off, and that's why they're like, oh, this actually looks bullish or this looks bearish, and they get a little bit confused, right? Because price does some crazy things. We already know that. So we only shift structure once the body, it cannot be a wick, the body closes either above the high or above the low. So in this instance, at this point right here, price has body closed above the high. So I'm going to circle this. And this now becomes the higher high. Okay? And the reason for it is simple. Okay? This previously used to be the high, and it's just gone above it, which is higher. That's literally the only reason. It's not anything crazy. Okay? However, as you guys know, and you guys identified it very well at first, a bullish market has high highs and high lows. But at the moment, we just have a high and a low. So what we do, we grab this brush, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. The moment we no longer have a path to walk on and have to physically change direction, which happens at this point right here, is where the new higher low goes, right? So we can get rid of this now. We can actually move these lines to the most recent higher high and to the most recent higher low, right? So I'm just going to change this as well. Perfect. Higher low, higher high. So we are still bullish. Now, question. What is this point right here? What is that point? What are you labeling that point as? Yes, I'll be showing you this on the market. This is just like a little introduction. Okay, so some of you guys have got it. Some of you guys are just slightly off. So at this current moment, like just pretend you can't see any of that, right? Because we're analyzing it as we go. This is just market structure. So some of you guys got it perfect, right? Because we have not at this point body closed below, or we have not body closed above. So at this point right here is just market structure. However, this point right here has body closed above. So now this point, we can draw it another box to make it clearer, becomes the new, oh, I guess I can't move it, it's fine. There we go. This becomes the new high, just again for the reason it has body closed above the previous high. Okay, this becomes the high. We can, start adjusting these lines. Again, how do we find the high low? We grab that brush, we keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. No longer have a path to walk on. So this is where the change of direction happens, and that is where our new higher low goes. So at this moment, we're still bullish. Okay, we've got higher low, we've got high. Again, what is this point? What is that point? Or what is this point? Actually, what is this point right here? What do you classify that as? Let me know. Lower high, market structure, nothing. Breaker structure, lower high, market structure. Okay, so for those of you that said market structure, correct. At this current time, this is just market structure, okay? Because this has not body closed above or it has not body closed below. However, this right here is the moment we finally body close below, okay? So now we've just gone from having a high and a high low to body closing below and creating a lower low, right? So we can change this. This is now a lower low, right? Just because it's lower than the previous low, right? This is literally exactly the same point. So we can get rid of this now, make your charts clean, move this to the body. And as we know, now that we're bearish, we have a lower low and we need a lower high. So how do we do that? Same exact way we did it for finding a higher low, we do it for a lower high, right? So many lower lows, lower highs going on. So we grab that brush, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. No longer have a path to walk on. So this right here is now the lower high. And some of you guys were saying it was a lower high, which this is correct, right? It is a lower high. But at the time, that still was just market structure. Okay, so we've got the lower low, we've got the lower high. We know that. Let's get rid of this. We are now bearish. Last question. What is this? What is this point right there? We've got lower low, lower high. What is that point? Let's see. Market structure, market structure, market structure. Perfect. Ah, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at you guys. Look at you guys. Amazing. This is simply market structure because it is within the high and within the low. If we decided to do this, start creating a new higher high, then we have just shifted from bearish to bullish. But because, just broken the whole thing, but because we were in between the high and the low, we have just got market structure, which is perfect. Amazing, amazing. I'm glad you guys get it. Does that kind of make sense? Let me know. Let me know in the chat while I delete all of these and then we can get onto the actual charts. Let me know if that makes sense. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Amazing. All right. So now let's actually get into the charts and into the trade. So very first thing, obviously, we have to identify the market structure. And if you're looking at this and you're like, it's kind of a little bit confusing, I don't know what's going on, we can click on the line chart, right? It makes it just a little bit clearer for us. So what we can do is I'm just going to make sure it looks good. We can pick a high and a low. Would you guys prefer to do it on the line chart or would you guys prefer to do it on the candles? Or how about we switch between both? Let's just do that. Okay, so I'm going to pick a high. Let me just double check, that's fine. Both. Yeah, okay, perfect. So this is our high, just like the drawing before. A random high, and this is just a random low. Okay, super, super simple. Let's just label that there. Now, we can draw this, remember, our trend line at the body of the high and at the body of the low. Now, all that we wait for is to see whether price, I'm actually going to get rid of this because this is getting in our way, I feel like. All we have to wait for is to see whether price body close above the high or whether price body closes below the low. So as we can see, we don't actually have any market structure inside here because price hasn't, created anything like that, right? So at this point right here, price has actually body closed below. Now this is actually a great example. This does not classify as a shifter structure, okay? The reason it doesn't classify is because it's a wick. Wicks, for me personally, do not classify as a shifter structure. It has to be the body. So we just had to wait a little bit. And at this point right here is where price actually ended up shifting bearish, right? Because we didn't really know if we were bullish or bearish because we just had a higher low. So this right here becomes our lower low, just like the example, right? So we've got this as the lower low. Right here, we can get rid of this as well. We can move our lines to the body and simply wait to see what's going on. But we can't have a lower low and a high We need to figure that out. So we grab that brush, we keep walking, oh, that's not the brush. There we go, grab the brush, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. The moment we no longer have a path to walk on is when we change direction. So this now becomes our lower high. And it just happens to be in the same exact place as the high, which is fine. It's normal. You know, on the line chart, you saw that it was a different place. This one, it's the same. It doesn't matter, okay? As long as you change the name of it and you don't keep it as a high, or, you know, you don't have a lower low and a higher high, right? Because that doesn't make sense. So does that make sense so far? We've got a lower low, we've got a lower high. Why did you say lower low when there is only one candle? What do you mean? It's just whichever candle closes first under. Sorry. Yes, it will be available. Don't you worry. So yeah, so now we're bearish on the weekly time frame. This is where the areas of interest come in, okay? Because the base of the strategy is break and retest. So what we do, we grab this rectangle and we find an area of interest. An area of interest is just a place where we have 2 or 3 touches, and every time price gets to this zone, we respect it. And this is found between the current lower low and lower high, okay? Because if, you know, we scroll up to here and let's just say, oh yeah, this is a great area of interest. I mean, but by the time price gets to here, it's going to take a while, right? So we want to make sure it's between the lower low and the lower high, or high, 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 low. So all we have to wait for is a break and retest. So I'm going to get rid of these now so you guys have a clean chart. We start on the weekly. We identify if we're bullish or bearish. We like to trade with the trend, okay? So we simply wait for the break and retest. As we know, and as we can see, price had a break, because this is just support and resistance, right? Area of interest is just another name for support and resistance. And this is currently at the time lower low, lower high. We've had the break, we've had the retest. Now, the key is price has to be at the area of interest, okay? So as the weekly is having this retest, we can then head to the daily, okay? And we repeat the same process over and over again. So let's just quickly run through this. Let's pick ourselves, we can even start here. Let's pick this as a high, let's pick this as our low, right? So let's label that real quick. Same exact situation as before. So this is the high, this is the low. So we draw our line at the body, okay? At the body of the high and at the body of the low. And we wait. Does price body close above, or does price body close below the low? Now, obviously, if we, zoom, we could be like, oh, actually, body closes above, which is correct, but it actually body closed below first, okay? So at this point right here, we body closed below, so we created a lower low, right? So let me move that real quick. At that point right here, we created a lower low. Now, we know that we are potentially bearish because we've got a lower low, but again, we need that brush to see if we've got a lower high. So we keep walking, same place as last time, which is, absolutely fine, but it doesn't matter too much. This is now our lower, oh, not the lower low, this is our lower high. There we go. We've got a lower low, we've got a lower high, so we know that we are now bearish. So we don't have to adjust this zone, but we do have to adjust this one. Continue to wait. Do we body close below or do we body close above? Question, what is this? What is that point right here? Let me know. What is that point right here? Structure, market structure, market structure. Yes. Perfect. That is simply market structure because we haven't body closed above the high and we haven't body closed below the low. So we haven't done any of that until this point right here. So at this point, we actually end up body closing above the lower high and create a higher high. Again, for the reason of it's simply higher than before. But as we know, we can't just have a higher high and a lower low. It needs to either be a higher high and a higher low, or lower low, lower high. So again, we grab that brush. It's literally a process of repeating this. We keep walking, no longer have a path to walk on. So this point right here becomes the new higher low, right? So we just ever so slightly adjust this, and this becomes the higher low. So now we know that we are bullish on the daily. Very, very key right here. We cannot sell if the daily is bullish, okay? We can't do that. And as we know, this circled moment was what the weekly looks like when we're having the retest, right? But we check in this moment, the daily was bullish and it's still bullish at the time. So what we have to wait for is a shift of structure on the daily before we can move on. So since this is the high high, this is the high low, this is where we add another area of interest at the shift of structure. So since this is the high high, high low, if price body closes below here, That's us then shifting bearish, which as you can see, right, it happened over here. Very slightly, we very slightly body closed below, but we did. We made it happen. So again, we go back to the same thing, and I'm going to get rid of this to make it a little bit clearer and a little bit less confusing. Again, we go back to the backbone of the strategy, which is break and retest. We've just gone from being bullish, we've had the break, we're now having the retest on the daily. We are also bearish. So we have two time frames in sync now. Same exact thing. We circle this on the daily because we've got the weekly, the daily looking good. Now the daily's also having the retest. Let's head to the 4 hour. Okay, what is the 4 hour looking like? The 4 hour is already bearish, okay? Because this right here is the lower low, this is the lower high. So we don't need to wait for a shift of structure because we already have 3 time frames in sync, right? So now we know we've had the break and retest on the weekly, we've had it on the daily, we need to wait for it on the 4 hour. So all of this, right, this is the same exact circle that we did on the daily. As the daily is having the retest, the 4 hour is also pushing up to this zone. Now, again, because we've had the break, we've had the retest, we can head to the lower time frames. Personally, for more confirmation, I added another zone just because price was hovering in and around this area for a while. I was waiting to see whether we can get a break and retest below this major zone, okay, which is happening at this point. Break, retest here, because the 4 hour could just be stuck, hovering and doing this and then not doing anything. So I don't really want to waste my time and be, watching this. I want to wait for that break and retest. So literally that is the backbone of the strategy. Weekly, daily, 4 hour. Same exact situation, okay? I know it gets boring, but this is simplicity and it's repetition. We've had the break, we've had the retest on the 4 hour. Great. Now we head to the lower time frame. Okay, this is where the most exciting thing happens. Same situation. Okay, we see if the lower time frames are bearish. If they're bullish, we have to wait for the shift of structure. If they're bullish and they're looking like this, the shift of structure happens where the higher low is, right? And that's where the area of interest is. So then we just wait for price to go break, retest to sell, right? It's literally a break and retest on all of these time frames, and we're trying to take a trade with the trend, right? Break, retest, sell. We have the 15, the 30, the 1 hour and 2 hours for our entries because we look through all of these just to see which one is the cleanest. Okay, so we don't have to wait for a break and retest, on all these 3 plus all of these 4. None of that. It's literally these 3 and then one of these 4 because all of them follow, but it's just whichever one looks the cleanest. Perfect, yeah. You find your area of interest, specifically the first area of interest is on the weekly time frame. If I just go back to here, it's between your most recent lower low, lower high. As you can see, it's just an area of support and resistance, right? So every time price gets to it, it has a reaction. If I was to draw maybe this, I personally don't classify this as a strong area of support, right? Unless we were to go back and see, like, oh, maybe it actually has something, but price has just gone right through it, so it's not really done anything. It has any sort of reaction. When it comes to placing your stop loss and take profit, this trade actually managed to hit a 1 to 4, which I didn't like this trade because the entry was quite far away from the actual retest, the actual area of interest. So my stop loss, I always like to put it at potential lower high when selling, and when buying, when price obviously is doing the break and retest here, I like to put it, if we do it like this, at the potential higher low, right? Because then I know that, let's get rid of this, if price decides to, go into here, whatever, it's created the lower low, confirmed the lower high, price is, pushed up, created a high high, and we've shifted structure, and we are now 100% in the wrong, right? That's the whole point of this. So we want to have confidence in the trade, but we also want to make sure that we are 100% in the wrong. In terms of trades, we like to risk to reward, I like to wait for a minimum of a 1 to 2. In this instance, this would have been a lovely 1 to 4, but a minimum 1 to 2 is fine, and we look at the previous structure points on the daily and the 4 hour as well. Let me know what you think about that. So pretty simple. I know if you're hearing it for the first time, you might be like, oh, that's a lot of break and retest. It is, but you get used to it. It's so simple, right? I cannot move on to the daily unless the weekly has a retest. Okay, great. That's where my first alert is. Now I put that down. Now I can move to the daily. Okay, cool. We had to wait for the daily to become bearish. Great. Let's wait for that retest. Alert. And then I'm not sat here staring and being like, oh, when's this going to happen? Or am I going to miss it? You don't really do that, okay? Because you have these alerts in place and they help you go through it, okay? Yeah, so exactly. That's why it's the intraday to swing trading, because we identify, like, so I have this list of all these pairs that I go through, and we pick the top ones, right? We pick the top ones for the upcoming week, and we just wait and see where they are, right? So for example, maybe for the upcoming week, let's just do this as an example. We could be waiting for the weekly to push up here. And you're like, well, this is on the weekly time frame. It's going to take time. Exactly. That is why we don't focus on one pair. We have all these other pairs that we pick and see which one is going to be ready the fastest. Okay. So we've got that break, we've got that retest on the weekly, and now we've had it again. Then we can move to the daily. We can't move on to the next step until we've got past step one, step two. You know, you just can't skip steps. Okay. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Yes, it will absolutely be available. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. It will be absolutely available to watch back. Perfect, perfect. Oh, one last question. See. Very interesting. Yes, exactly. Exactly, exactly. So this is just specifically for currency pairs. So how long do I wait for the daily chart? So it depends, right? You know, it depends if, you know, all of this took a long time for it to shift, but that's when when it was at this, it wasn't even on our watch list, you know? It's when price starts to become closer, that's when we add it to the watch list. Because, for, you know, right now I could just click a random pair and be like, you know, AUD USD looks good, but without analyzing it, it still needs to have, you know, the weekly to even be in the right direction. The daily, it's not at the area of interest. It's all these small things that actually help you to make sure that the trade is ready. So that's why we don't focus on one, because let's say I pick GBP AUD, cool, it's had the trade, it's had it this week, but now by the time it actually pulls up to here, it's going to take a little time. So that's why we have these other ones to actually prepare us for the waiting around. Like, it's not, oh my gosh, it's going to take me a week. No, it's fine. You can take a trade, and that's why we do 4 to 6 quality trades per month. Exactly. Yeah, setting alerts and taking it from there. It's literally, if your alert doesn't go off, you don't take the trade. That's literally it. I am not teaching order flow or anything like that. Yeah, so exactly. So the most important time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour. Those are the most important ones. We cannot just jump and focus on the 4 hour, because although, you know, the 4 hour here might look good, I'll be like, oh, you know, this looks good, great. But the daily at the time is still bullish and we're selling. So we're setting ourselves up for failure for no reason, you know? Perfect, yeah. So the win rate is at around 60 to 70%. 60 to 70% win rate. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. 60 to 70% win rate, higher time frame analysis, weekly, daily, 4 hour time frame, then you move on to the lower ones. Literally, the backbone of the strategy, I think you guys are thinking into this too much, is literally break and retest. That's it. If the weekly is bearish, we're looking for sells. We're waiting for the break and retest. If the weekly is bullish, we're looking for buys and wait for price to have a break and retest. Then we go to the daily. Break and retest, 4 hour. Break and retest, lower time frame, break and retest. It's literally break and retest. It's not, you don't have to worry like about the super, super tiny small things. As long as you know how to identify the trend and wait for the break and retest, that's literally the backbone of the strategy. And again, we have the entries on the 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, or 15. Break and retest again. It just depends which one looks the cleanest, okay? And you have proper risk management where you place your take profit zones and your stop loss like we went through. So it's not just random. It's when selling, we place it at a potential lower high so that if we do get stopped out, we have just shifted, right? So we are 100% in the wrong. And this is what the sniper framework is. Yes, exactly. Exactly, exactly. Okay. However, you probably have a question of how does this approach actually help me? Okay, so let's take a quick look. How this approach actually allows you to continue living your life, and it's not, oh my gosh, I have to, you know, look at the screen, or I have to do this. It works around your life, okay? 30-minute time frame, you check the charts. Again, we start on Sunday, okay? We start on Sunday. We already have the pairs prepared so that even when Monday comes around, you're not already stressed out because everybody has other things going on, right? School, work, other commitments. Sometimes you forget. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to rush and quickly look at the charts and what's going on. You don't have to do any of that, okay? Because you're already ahead of the game before the markets have even started and have even opened. I should say not started, but before they've even opened. And then throughout the day, you check it probably about 30 minutes, I would say, even less once you get used to it. Obviously, you have to put the work and the time in at first, but once you understand it, you don't have to spend all day staring at it. Like I don't spend basically any time looking at the charts because I already have everything set up in place. And then your day, okay, you have work, you have family, and you can do whatever you want. Whether it's just relaxing, playing games, going out for dinner, like literally that is up to you, okay? Because you're not glued to your phone and you're not like, I have to sit here because I'm going to miss the trade, okay? You simply execute when the setup is there. You don't make it up. You're not Joey. We're not trying to be Joey in this situation. We're trying to be calm and not stressed out about being like, oh, you know what? I should be taking this. Someone else is taking it. I should be doing that. None of that stuff. The whole point is that you trade and then you live. That's it, okay? This is what this framework actually looks like for people who have jobs and for families. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't have time. That is the whole point of having this strategy. This is what I was trading, while I was at work, while I was at school, trying to implement this so that actually I had more time to focus on the things that mattered, like spending time with your family, right? The evenings and the weekends are yours. The only thing that you have to do on Sunday is go through the trades and go through the markets and be like, okay, this one looks good. I'll like this one, like this one, like this one, and pick up the top ones for the upcoming week. You're not a screen, you're not a slave to the screen, okay? You're not refreshing the charts every 5 minutes. You're not Joey who's like, oh my gosh, sorry, I can't go downstairs. I can't hang out with you guys because I'm going to miss my trade. And then you don't end up taking a trade anyways because nothing looks good. Or, like we talked about, the bad part of this where you actually take a trade and it's because you've overtraded or because you saw someone else taking it. So either way, you're not forcing yourselves to step into these bad habits, okay? And when I talked about intraday to swing trading, we look at 4 to 6 trades per month, which every single one is planned. We're not the sprayer, we're not spraying and we're not like, you know what? One of them's going to hit. But then you can't repeat it next week. We can't repeat it next month. We're actually the sniper. We're sitting there. We have everything planned. We have these rules set in place. If point A doesn't happen, we can't go to point B, okay? If we're on step 3, we can't skip to step 5, okay? You know exactly what you're doing and you are able to repeat this week in, week out, okay? And why this works again, this is planning over the emotion. So we have Joey, okay, good little comparison. Joey is sat there, he's second guessing every entry, okay? He's revenge trading after a loss and he's closing winners too early because he's scared. He doesn't know where his take profit should be. He doesn't know what the risk to reward should be. He doesn't know where the stop loss is. All these small things, like I talked about, they add up, right? And he has a different approach every week because he gets fed up, just like I did when I was learning. I was like, yes, I'm so confident this is working. Then when it didn't, I give up and I'm like, yeah, let me try something else because you get losses and you panic because you don't have anything to actually follow and look at. Whereas if you have a framework, okay, you have clear rules and you know exactly when to enter. You walk away and let the trade play out. You set your stop loss, you set your take profit. You're not sat there watching it, okay? Watching it is the worst thing you can do because you're like, oh, let me be greedy or I'm scared because you become a Joey. Again, we don't want to become a Joey, right? The targets, like I said, the stop loss take profit, they are already there. You already know exactly what you want to happen. And if it doesn't, your stop loss gets hit. And you know what? You're not upset about it. You're not going to overtrade. You're not going to revenge trade because you know that you followed the plan. It doesn't matter how you're feeling or what's going on up there, your emotions and your opinion of the market doesn't take over. The plan is there to get rid of those bad habits and be like, you know what? I'm having a bad day. This trade doesn't look good. I'm not going to take it. Or I'm having a bad day, this trade looks good, and I'm going to take it because of my rules. Okay? Super, super simple. And it's the same process, same discipline, always. You're not changing it. And how do you actually grow your account with this? Okay? So, like I mentioned on the, what's it called? On the breakdown, that was a 1 to 4 trade. We usually aim for a 1 to 2 risk to reward, risking 1 to 2% of the account. So please use me as a great example for why you should have correct risk management because you work so hard to build out your account, whether you're doing a funded account or whether you're just on demo practicing, or if you're on a small live account like I was at the start. I got too confident because I built the account up and I was like, I'm going to risk £200 out of 1.2k, which as you can see, is a crazy, crazy amount to be risking. So 1 to 2%, small amounts, that one loss never hurts you. Like me, I had one loss. In fact, I had like 4 losses in the space of 20 minutes, which hurt me so much. It literally put me back all the way, and even worse than when I first started, right? Whereas if you have a 1 to 2, you can lose 2 trades before you're even at break even, right? So risk to reward and risk management is extremely, extremely important. And when it comes to the trades, you can even take 3 to 4 trades, which is what I do per month, which is about 1 to 2 trades per week. You have fewer trades, you have higher quality trades, so your overall win rate goes up because you're getting rid of those unnecessary losses because you know what you're looking for. You're not spraying, okay? You're that sniper. And again, just a few more results. Traders who have followed this framework, like Lewis, like Noel, and like Laura, okay? They're all taking the same trades. And it's not because I'm telling them, hey guys, buy now, sell now. None of that stuff. We're not doing any signal groups. I'm trying to get them to become as independent as they possibly can because they know exactly what they're looking out for, right? They don't need anyone to be like, hey, tell me when to buy, tell me when to sell. No, they actually know the skill and they've learnt it and they're following it. And prime example of Lewis, he used to be a scalper and he used to be taking trades all the time. Whereas now, he's a little bit more relaxed. He's only been in the community at that point for a few days and he was already starting to see results because he switched his mindset into focusing on the framework and following the structure rather than trading off of his emotions and being like, yes, let me take more trades and make more money. Okay? So you've seen the approach, you've seen the strategy, and you've seen the results. What is left? I just want to make this clear that this is literally just the tip of the iceberg, okay? We've gone through the tiniest, tiniest bit when it comes to the strategy and when it comes to explaining what is involved, okay? There is still so much left and so many questions that have to be asked, okay? But before that, I have some questions for you, okay? So with everything we've covered so far, do you feel a little bit more confident in becoming a consistently profitable trader? Let me know. Just based off the problems that we figured out and what you're focusing on. Yes, 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 definitely. Perfect, perfect. A little bit. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. Okay. And are you happy that you came to the masterclass today? Even if it helped you the tiniest bit. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect, perfect. Amazing, amazing. That's great. That's great. Okay. So even if you only use a tiny fraction, like I said, of what I showed you today, would you say your time was well spent? Like, even if it's like the tiniest thing that I mentioned, and I was like, you know what, actually, that could help me. Absolutely, 100%. Yes, yes, yes. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, now, would you like to spend more time together going even deeper? So, obviously, I've given you guys a little bit of an overview, a little bit of a rundown, but do you want to learn more? Do you want to go deeper? Yes, 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 yes. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now here's the thing. Think about what you really want. Okay, do you want to be like Joe from my community where you want to replace your 9 to 5, or do you want to be someone who spends more time with your loved ones and your family and just have irreplaceable memories like Matt? Okay, we all have different things we want to do. Not everybody wants to quit their job. Okay, or whatever you want to do, you can pick. Okay, it can be done. It's not just me making it up. I literally have used the example of Joe and Matt just for these two things to show you because everybody wants different things. However, the biggest and the most important thing is that you need to believe in yourself. I don't know how many people I see that message me or reach out and they're like, "Hey, I've been training for X amount of years or months or whatever, and I want to give up because I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I can be determined." You need to get rid of that mentality completely. Like, with all honesty and all full transparency and just trying to get you guys in the right mindset, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, I'm not, I mean this in the best way possible. If I can do this, anyone can do this. All you have to do is believe in yourself. If nobody else believes in you, it's going to be a little bit hard if you're just focusing on that because there's always going to be some people who doubt you. Like, I even have a prime example of my friends from school, right? When I was learning and telling them, oh, I want to be a trader, I want to learn this, they were like, trading's a scam. What do you mean, right? But then when they see me doing it a little bit better and I have now become a profitable trader, now all of a sudden the people that were like, oh, actually, trading is a scam, I don't know why you're doing trading, it's not going to work, are now asking me, hey, can you teach me how to trade? You see how the script flips because people actually understand that you did it, okay? Even though they told you, whether someone's telling you or whether they're secretly, hoping that you fail, they now see it. You've actually gone and done it. You're not just talking about it. But the first thing starts with you. If you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be so hard for you guys. But I promise you, if like I don't even know what else I can say. You just have to believe in yourself. If I can do it, anybody can do it, okay? And then number two, you have to have the right approach. Just like me, even though I believed in myself, I didn't know what I was doing, right? So it's good, but you need that little bit of a push where, okay, I'm not being Joey. We want to stay away from being Joeys and we want to become profitable traders who know what they're doing. However, here's the truth. I could be the best presenter in the world, but it doesn't matter how much I've shown you today, it probably won't be enough to create a lasting change in your life. Okay? So, for those of you that said that you did want to go deeper, what if you could have access to a proven system that has a clear framework, that has not more information, but you actually know what to do? It's not like hectic. It's like, oh, what do I do? You're questioning yourself. Like I was watching YouTube videos, gaining more information, gaining more experience, which I thought, which obviously was wrong. It's just clear framework. It respects your time. You're not a screen slave, okay? You have time for your job, whether you want to keep that, whether you later want to end up quitting it, whether you want time for your family or just time for yourself, okay? And most importantly, holding yourself accountable. You hold yourself accountable so you can become a profitable trader faster, okay? Now, I want to make this super clear. This isn't just another strategy, okay? It's an opportunity to change yourself. Again, we go back to the comparison. I like this. This is Joey in the red. This is us in the green. Joey, he's checking the charts every hour. He's missing out on life when he is also at work. Prime example myself. When I was an estate agent, I'd be like, oh, let me just check. Or maybe I'm going to miss a trade. Maybe I'm going to do this because I didn't have my alert set. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just taking random trades just for the sake of it. And me, by missing out the time of actually being able to look at the screen, I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably take a trade, which obviously is made up. Like, why am I doing that? There's absolutely no reason to be doing that. But I didn't have anything, an actual proven system that worked. Second guessing every trade, like Joey. He's like, okay, this trade looks good. Oh, but actually, does it? Or does it? Or maybe before he even takes a trade, he's looking at the screen, scalping, looking at the 1 minute time frame, looking at the 5 minute time frame. He's like, oh, this looks really good. But let me wait for one more confirmation. So he waits for one more confirmation, and then what tends to happen? He misses the trade because the confirmation never comes because it moves so fast, and he doesn't have enough time to actually think about whether or not this is the right trade. And then months go by, and the account stays the same, or worse, it goes down into the negative. So that's just a little bit of an example. However, with the system, Joey can check the chart once and live the rest of the day. Whether he wants to sit downstairs and watch TV, he can do that. Whether he wants to take his family on a vacation, he can do that. Whatever he wants to do, he can do it. He's got clear rules and he has zero guesswork. He's not guessing, he knows what to do. He's become guesswork. He's not guessing, he knows what to do. He's becoming a sniper. And the account grows because the proven framework. Okay, it works. He has a process, slowly compounding that account and making it bigger without even realizing it, really. And again, a system. This system has helped countless of traders. It's not just some made-up thing. You know, you have all these people. They're trading the same exact framework. They're taking the same trades, and they're looking for the same entries because we go through it and they know exactly what to do step by step by step. So, with all of that being said, when I was making this masterclass, I had two choices. Choice number one, drop tons of values for you guys here, and then we go our separate ways, which is pretty sad, okay? Or choice number two, play a more active role in your trading journal. And rather than, you guys seeing me just this once and then never seeing me again and not even knowing if you're implementing what I gave you, I chose option two, okay? So you've probably tried to get help before and it didn't work out the way you hoped, okay? And here's what's out there right now. And this is where we go into things in a little bit more detail in terms of courses. You have seen so many courses out there, and I know you have. I've seen it and I see it all the time. However, they give you no support when you're stuck with questions. So a course, basically, you get some videos or you get some documents, and then you're like, okay, I'll watch it back. But when you have a question, there's not really anyone you can ask. So you watch them again and again and again. But what happens? Because you don't know what you're doing, right? There's no real support. Signal groups. Don't even get me started about signal groups, okay? Yes, you can make money. However, you don't become a trader because signal groups just tell you buy now, sell now, but you don't know why you've lost the trade. You don't know why you've won the trade. Yes, you know how to maybe operate MT5 or TradingView, whichever one you're trading on. But if all of the signal groups disappeared tomorrow, would you be able to trade on your own? Or would you be in the same exact place that you were before, excuse me, I started joking now, before the signal group actually happened and appeared for you in the first place? Just a quick question, you know? So that's why I have a very, very strong opinion on signal groups, because I don't think they actually teach you the skill. You know, yes, you might learn, you know, a few things here and there, but can you actually become an independent trader? And do you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it? And then mentorships, there's a bunch of these out there. You never really get real access because they're so big. You know, they're super, super, super inflated, and there's so many people there, which is the exact reason why I had to build something different. My criteria was super simple, okay? Ongoing support. Whenever you're, you know, staring and glued to the screen and you're stuck because you've been trading for years, there's going to be support. Like for me, I didn't have anyone to ask. I had videos, right? But videos can't talk to you. So I was doing that. I was glued to the screen. I was like, oh, okay, what now? What do I do now? Oh, is this good? Is this bad? Whereas if you have ongoing support, it makes things so much easier. And something, criteria number two, make sure it is built around your life. Okay, this is designed for people with jobs, with families, with commitments. Like I keep going on. Okay, this was literally what I was doing while I was at work, right? You don't have time to be glued to the screen, or maybe your phone, or maybe you have something come up. Okay, there's just not enough time in the day for that. Plus, maybe like Joey, you are exhausted at work, come home, and then all of a sudden you have to look at the screen and force a trade because you're like, I didn't have time to look at the screen today, let me trade. But when there's nothing there, or you see something on Instagram, right? So I want to make sure that you also learn the skill and not stay dependent, i.e., going away from the signal groups. Okay, you become the trader and have access to the skill that no one can take away from you. Once you learn this skill, which obviously takes some time, but once you learn it, there is nobody that can take it away from you. Whereas signal groups, they could just disappear tomorrow and you'll be in the same exact place, which is the exact reason as to why I built True Wealth. Are you guys ready for this? Serious question. Are you guys agreed on signal? See, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect, perfect. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. What is inside True Wealth? So you get the complete strategy. You have 3 to 5 hours of structured coursework material taking you from A to Z, beginner to advanced. If you are a complete beginner, that's fine. There's even a beginner's guide in there which goes through all the terms and all the real basics before you even get into the strategy. Okay, you have real trade breakdowns, you know, like we went through today. We go through in a little bit more detail as well. We go through it live as well as having them recorded so you can check back and be like, okay, this is what happened with this trade, this is what happened with this one. Plus you get a checklist and many resources. Okay, you also get a trading psychology series, the mental side of trading that nobody teach and nobody even talks about. As we know, you've probably heard it, 80% psychology, 20% strategy. It's true. Poor Joey, okay, he's greedy, he's over trading, he's not patient, and he has FOMO. Okay, so the thing that we have to consider is how that actually affects our trading. He's again trading the opinion, he doesn't have a structure, and he's letting and building up all these bad habits because he doesn't know how to control his emotions, right? Then, on top of those resources, you get 2 weekly calls which are live. And those are the ones that I personally go on, right? This isn't just me telling you, oh, hey, by the way, this is what you get, and then you never see me again. I am the one who goes through, you know, the trades and who is the one taking the calls personally. So, like I talked about on Sunday, we review and we prep for the upcoming week. We pick out the top trades, and the top pairs for the upcoming week before the market has even opened. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. If you can't make it, don't worry, it's all recorded. Then on Monday, I give you guys updates. Okay, so I'm like, okay, you know, Sunday we said that we were waiting for this. Monday still remains the same. Maybe we just need to tweak this or tweak that, right? So you've got ongoing and continuous learning. It's not just like, here's the strategy videos and that's it. Continuous learning with live calls. Then on Tuesday is the same, you get another update. Wednesday is another call. This is just a midweek check-in, so it's basically just like a live update, right? This is where we go through everything together. Once again, you can ask your questions. I am the one taking these. It's not, you know, somebody else. We go through them live. This is literally the prime time to be asking questions because I have the charts in front of me, right? Because I can show you, oh, what do you mean by this? Or what do you mean by that? Oh, this is what I mean, you know? And then most likely, if you have the question, somebody else will have the question. So we all are learning together and we are all on the same page. Plus, like I mentioned before, it's recorded. You also get access to a private community, okay? There's a saying where it's like you become the average of the people you surround yourself with. And I personally think is true, okay? Because if you have people around you who are serious and who do want to become profitable traders and make it, you will slightly feel the pressure of, oh, why am I falling behind when I have this person and this person and this person who is really focused and got their head down and focusing. I want to be there, so I should be doing that. And everybody holds their self accountable because inside there is only serious traders, okay? This isn't available to everyone. It's people who are actually committed to getting better. It's not, some random people joining and telling them, oh, you should do this, you should do this. Everybody has either been through something that you're about to go through or you're going through it together. You can ask questions, you can share setups, okay? You get help from other traders going through the same journey as you. Trading can be lonely, right? We know it. So if you have someone that's on the same page and is also learning the same framework, it makes it just a little bit easier. Plus, you have the winning culture where we celebrate our wins together, as you guys saw, the traders posting their wins and essentially just becoming the best version of themselves. And now, you're probably like, okay, this community is probably massive. How many people are in there? Well, it's not 100 members, it's not 200, and it's not 300. We have 45 members. Like I said, the reason is simple. I am the one who is personally involved, right? This isn't just a random Discord or a random, crazy big community where it's like your number 3,058.6, whatever, right? You're not any made up number. You are literally number 46, 47, 48. And we only have a small amount of people who join because I want to help you guys, okay? If there's literally 1,000 people on the call and everybody's asking a question, you know how hard it is to answer them. But if you have, even 10 people on the call, very, very closed, very private community, every question gets answered. No one's like, oh, I wish she answered my question. I wish she did this. No, because we go through it. You've gone through the strategy, you've gone through all the resources, you're attending the live calls where you ask the questions and you're actually learning, okay? If this was something massive, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense, right? And again, I want to go back to what this isn't. It's not a static course where, I give you those videos of the strategy and just leave you. I actually have ongoing learning with all of the resources. Like, there's so many resources in there that even without ongoing learning, I'm not going to lie, if I had that, that would be a game changer. But on top of that, you get updates. You get those 2 live calls, which is continuous learning. I mean, that's serious right there. And it's not any basic information that you can find anywhere on the internet. This is real structured approach that's taking me 2.5 years that I've just put into one so I can speed up your journey just a little bit, right? And again, this isn't another guru selling you a dream. Like I talked to you guys in the beginning, going on holiday or getting a nice car or doing this, doing that is super cool, but it's not always like that. That's why I had that loss in there, because losses happen. It's a normal part of trading. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, become a swing trader, learn this approach, and you'll be a millionaire tomorrow or next month. That's not how it works. I would love for that to happen. But sadly, that is not how it works. And you guys know how trading works, right? But there's still people who tell you, hey, join my signal group, you'll have a Lambo, all of that stuff, which sadly isn't true. So I am trying to make this as realistic as possible. I'm not telling you you have to quit your job. You have to do this. If you want to trade it alongside your job, absolutely fine. We have Matt in there. Very, very successful and profitable trader. He's still working. We have Joe on the other hand, a little bit different. He didn't want to have his job, right? So it depends what you want to do. Depends what your priorities and what your goals actually are, right? So again, a comparison, what this is hands-on learning. Like I was talking about, those live calls, those resources, it's continuous learning. It's in-depth information that you can't find anywhere else. This is literally live. As the markets are moving, I'm talking to you guys, right? This isn't past. This isn't like, oh, I recorded this 5 years ago or however many years ago. Just watch it, right? Because the markets are consistently changing. So yes, you can learn the strategy, but you need to be able to apply it and adapt to how the markets are today. Plus, you get access to a mentor, which is myself. It's not somebody else, not a third party that's hired. And I've helped a bunch of people and a bunch of traders do the same exact thing, which were, and this is a prime example, they were all in the same position, just like you guys, right? Just regular people trying to become profitable traders, and it's just a quick little example of a few of them. And like I keep saying, they're not lucky, okay? They're literally normal people who follow the system and refuse to quit. These people are showing up, right? That's why they're getting these results. And the biggest difference between them and where you are now is literally one decision. One decision. So I just want you to picture this. Imagine you in 3 to 6 months from now. What does that look like? Okay? You wake up and you don't have to jump straight onto the charts because you've already done it the next day and your alert hasn't gone off. So nothing has changed. Okay? You know what setup to wait for, and there's just no stress and no more randomness. Okay? You place a trade when the setup is right. When the alert finally does go off, you have a clear entry, you have a clear exit, you close your laptop or you close your phone and just get on with the day. You're not messing around. You're not like, oh, I have to trade, oh, this person's trading, let me do it. No, no, no. Like, it is literally all planned out. So if something isn't there, you just don't take it. And you spend time on things that actually matter, whether that's your family, whether that's travel, whether that's doing things you love, any hobbies, or just relaxing. Whatever it is, you can do, okay? Because you don't have to be glued and chained to the screen all day, every single day. Plus, a little bonus thing, your account is growing, okay? Because you have correct risk management and you're not getting lucky, you're not gambling, you have a process that works and is trusted and you can repeat, okay? You're not Joey. Remember, we're trying to stay away from the Joey. Plus, you're surrounded by other people doing the same thing, okay? Everybody's pushing each other, everybody's holding each other accountable. You're sharing your wins and you're making progress every single week. You are not doing this on your own. And all of that doesn't have to be an imagination, okay? This is already the daily reality of the people inside True Wealth, right? So this isn't made up. This is actually what is currently happening at this current moment. But now that you've seen this, okay, there's three choices. Choice number one, you can do nothing. Okay, you can leave this masterclass and do absolutely nothing. You know, your life stays exactly the same, and hopefully nobody chooses option number one. But we have option number two. You take action on the free information that's provided. You leave this masterclass and implement everything you've learned and take action on my free YouTube videos, you know, on Instagram. And if you stay 100% committed, you'll still probably reach profitability. But the biggest question is, how long will it take? Is it going to take 1 more year, 2, 3 more years? Because I've met some traders who've been stuck unprofitable for 5+ years just because they haven't taken action on the right opportunities. Now you actually know what the problem is and what the solution is and what to do. The choice is up to you whether you actually choose to change how you're trading right now and choose to change how your future will look. Then you have option number three, get the help. Okay, so you take the leap, you invest in yourself, and you believe in yourself. This is the number one thing. No matter what you pick, you have to believe in yourself. You steal the thousands of hours that I've wasted failing in the markets. Like I said, all of this information isn't random. This is information that I've gathered and I've learned over the years to try and shorten your journey at least a little bit. And you achieve the goal of time, money, and location freedom from trading. So if you guys choose option number two, I wish you all the very best of luck. You know, I will be rooting for you either way and doing my absolute best to push out the most valuable and free content. And, you know, hopefully you guys can learn from that. However, if you guys choose option number three, thank you very, very much for trusting me. I do every single thing in my power to make sure you become a consistently profitable trader, okay? So there's only one thing to do. You have those three options. Hopefully nobody chooses number one, okay? That's already out the window. But you already know what to do. The only thing between you and the version of yourself that you've been picturing, you know when you go to sleep and you're like, oh, this is what my life is going to look like. This is what it's going to do. This is literally the only difference, is you taking action and actually turning that into reality, okay? Don't make it next year's regret. So what tends to happen now is you can fill out the form, which I will put in the chat. My team will pop that in the chat, and then you can hop on a call, book it, meet with the head of enrollment, and then just have a conversation and figure out if True Wealth is right for you. Okay? So super, super simple. That will be in the chat right now. If you guys go ahead and click on that, you guys can book a call and go on. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, book on that and see what is going on with my team. Or if you guys don't see that in the chat, which it should be in the chat right now, you guys can scan this QR code. So let me just get this out real quick. If you can't see anything in the chat, for some reason, maybe I'll try to. I don't know if I can pin this. Here we go, here we go. Just a blank window. You guys don't see this? Maybe if my team could post it, here we go. They just posted it again in the chat. So if you guys click on that, or just scan this QR code. It's not working. It should be working. Let me see. It should be working. Yeah, it seems to be working right now. So yeah, that's perfect. And as you guys are doing that, I just want to talk about why this is a cool and it's not just a checkout page, okay? Because like I was telling you guys and comparing it to all these different things, this isn't just a click and buy course, okay? It's literally an in-depth program where everybody's starting point is different. So you deserve to be heard and somebody deserves to actually listen to your story and be like, okay, this is what the plan is, this is how it's going to work, and this is how we're going to do things, okay? It is meant to be designed to understand you. It's not just a random thing and be like, oh, you know what, yeah, let's just take you, whatever. And we have limited spaces as well, and this isn't just me making it up, but you guys saw that we only have 45 members in there because we only take in a selection of people so that I can physically work with them myself, you know, not outsourcing, not doing any of that stuff. So please remember that this is a first come, first serve, and these spots do fill up very, very fast. So if you are interested, do not wait. Okay, I'll give you guys a little bit more time to book these calls, but I just want to mention this real quick. There's this saying, you know, that a lot of people use. It's one day or day one. And like we talked about, if you're picturing yourself in 3 to 6 months, what is your life going to be looking like? If you take the step and take the leap into actually bettering your future, or what will that look like if you stay where you are? Like what would you rather do? You would rather actually better your future, have some guidance, and have a clear structure and a process that you can repeat week after week, or would you rather be Joey? And you know the whole point of this is for none of you guys to want to be Joey. None of you guys should want to be Joey because poor Joey, he's literally working so hard in his job and he's going home. He's really trying to make training work, but he doesn't have anything that will actually push him in the right direction. So would you rather be a Joey or would you rather be anything but Joey? No Joeys around here. And again, just a few more just a few more results here. We've got Joe, which I said was one of my top students as well. You know, just a quick testimony, you can read it, but he was the one who was previously trading for a few years. He was struggling to become profitable, and then he joined. He put his head down, and he really worked hard, and now he's quit his job, right? Like I was, you know, comparing him and Matt. They're very different people. They have very different goals and priorities, but they still did the same thing. They still worked extremely hard. They still put their head down and they still wanted to become profitable traders, right? And this is just a few quick examples. Lewis, we already talked about him as well. Lewis passed his funded account in 2 weeks, okay? He literally messaged me, 2 months, sorry. He messaged me, you know, a picture of this, and then all next thing I know, he's already passed the verification because once again, he's put his head down and he's put his time into things that actually matter and it will actually help him. And again, all of these, you know, you have Mike, you have Alex, you have David, all of these people, they're real people. This isn't made up. You know, you guys can read this. Like Mike, you know, he came across me on Instagram and he learned from me and he said it's the best decision he's made so far. Like, I am trying to help you guys, right? I am not trying to give you guys a false hope or whatever. Hopefully, you guys can see that through the results that I've shared and through what I've been saying. Not everybody wants to do the same things in terms of have a Lambo. You know, Lambos are cool, don't get me wrong. I want to have one, but not everybody wants that. Not everybody wants to quit their job. So everybody's goals are different, and it's just proved by all of these student testimonials that doesn't matter what it is, you can do it. Number one, you have to believe in yourself, and then number two, you have to have a structure that does actually work. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, I can see some of you guys are booking in already. Make sure to click the link in the chat, which will be the last chance for you to book it. Fill out the form, you pick a time, and then you show up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is it. This is the last chance. Otherwise, they will be gone. And sadly, there will be no more spots available for you guys. But whilst you guys are doing that as well, I do have a gift for you guys. If you book your call today with us, you unlock 2 free bonuses. Number one, you get the strategy checklist. Okay, you get the exact checklist for every setup, no more random trades, and we have very strict rules which you can use and follow. And and take higher quality setups, plus win more, right? So this is just one of the bonuses. Bonus number 2, Traderly. This is something that I've been working on, which is an online trading journal. Okay, you get free 30-day trial of Traderly once it launches. Okay, like I was telling you guys, I know a lot of people were asking me what broker do I use. I don't promote any brokers, I don't promote any prop firms, none of that stuff. I have no affiliates, it's literally just trading. Okay, however, this is something I have personally created slash in the works. Tradely will track all your trades. We have an AI coach, everything that you essentially need that will track your data and tell you what is going wrong. All of the analytics that you need, which will obviously allow you to hopefully become a better trader on top of implementing the strategy as well. So you get a 30-day trial with that. Plus, obviously, you journal every trade and just track your progress, and you get a full dashboard of stats. But this is only available, and I can't stress this enough, if you book tonight. Okay, if you book tonight, the bonuses are unlocked. You have the call, you join, you get full access. If you wait and do one day rather than day one, the bonuses do disappear. And it is a cool quote that I like to have in here is by Karen Lamb. It's like, a year from now, you'll wish you started today. Right? Whether this applies to anything, whether it's trading, whether it's the gym, it's the same thing. Time passes anyways. It's just up to you what you want to do with that time. Whether in 3 months' time you look back and be like, you know what, I actually wish I took the step because I would have been in a completely different place 3 months, 6 months from now. Or you can not take a step and be like, you know what, or we can take the step I meant 3 months, 6 months. Yes, I'm very, very glad that I did end up taking this step. It's just two different things that you can compare, right? Do you want to be a Joey? Do you not want to be a Joey? That is the saying of today's masterclass. Now, a lot of you guys probably have questions in terms of, okay, but I work full time, but I already have a strategy. How is this different from the things I've tried before? How soon can I expect results with this style of trading? We're going to do a Q&A and answer all of your questions. So first things first, I just want to quickly say, what if I work full time? If you work full time, like we've been talking about, it is absolutely fine because this strategy is meant to be calm. Okay, it's not meant to cause you more stress and be like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I have to take a trade. I have to watch the charts. It's not meant for that. It's literally meant for people who have other commitments, who have work, who have school. They can do this throughout their job, or just have this as something alongside to what they're doing right now. Now, another question which I accidentally skipped past too fast was, I already have a strategy. Now, this is great, okay? Because we already covered this. If you have a strategy and you're profitable, amazing, okay? But how much time and effort does this strategy require you to have? That's just a simple question. If you're there staring at the screen, you know, you're profitable, which is great, but how much longer do you want to do that for? Is there a time where you decide, actually, I decided to become a trader to have the freedom and to have time? I didn't become a trader to go from a 9 to 5 to a 7 to 11, or I didn't become a trader to go from a 9 to 5 times 2. You're not now quitting your job and having this on the side. You're doing it alongside your job. Okay, so that's just a super simple thing I want you guys to consider. How much longer can you or are willing to continue trading the same strategy and spending the same exact time staring and glued to the screen? And how is this different from the things I've tried before? So super simple. This is no signal group. Okay, this is no buy now sell now. This is no course where you get the materials and you get left. This is literally ongoing support plus continuous learning. I cannot stress this enough. You have all of the resources in there, which are already crazy. Plus, I am the one helping you. I'm the one helping you. I'm the one getting on the live call, giving you that continuous learning, helping you out, answering your question. And this is a small group and a small community. Like I keep stressing, I cannot say this, enough. This is a small group. There are limited spaces. We cannot let everyone in because otherwise your question will never get answered, which is literally defeats the whole purpose of this whole community. And how soon can I expect results with this style of trading? Great. It depends how much effort you are willing to put into this. So, for example, we take Joey and we take Matt. And not Joey, Joe. We don't want to be Joeys. We want to be Joes. We take Joe and Matt. They were unprofitable and they turned up to every single live call. They watched all the resources. They were asking the questions and they really wanted it. They're not like, oh, I'm going to join and I'll be profitable or maybe I'll do this. No, no, no. They actually put the time and effort in and they were able to see results in around 3 to 6 months. Now, with that being said, this is not a guarantee. This is not me saying, hey, this will definitely happen. It depends on how much time you are willing to put in. You can see progress faster. Maybe it will take you a little bit longer. It is honestly down to you. Every single thing that is in there is meant to be in there and is there to help you. But it's whether or not you use that help to your advantage, i.e., joining the live calls, asking me questions. That is what I am there for, to help you guys become profitable traders and speed up that journey faster. I don't want you guys to take 2.5 years to become profitable like I did. You don't want to be doing that. But now that I've answered the kind of most common ones, what are the questions here? All the spots are taken. I can't book. Let me see. I think that's the reason. I'm not sure if we can open up more spots for a call, but I think, let me just double check with the team. I think that is the reason. Yeah, exactly. I just want to get out of the signal group and have full understanding why I'm taking trades. Exactly. That's literally the whole point of me doing this and why I have such a strong opinion on signal groups. I am a little bit of a hater there because I don't want people to not know why they're doing something. 58 years old, and am I too old? No, you're absolutely not too old to learn. You know, there's no such thing. You're not too old. You can learn at any time. This is suitable for absolutely anyone. So do not even worry about that. How much capital do you need to start? So you're not thrown into the deep end and saying, oh my gosh, I have to have 10K, I have to have 20K, or I have to have any of that stuff. None of that, okay? You literally start off and you trade on a demo account first because you're not, because realistically, where are you going to get the money from and how are you going to make money if you don't know what you're doing? So you start on a demo, you gain consistency, whether you do want to go into a small live account or whether you want to go straight into being funded. So I want you guys to take away the aspect of I don't have enough capital because there are so many options for you becoming a funded trader. Okay, you just have a small investment, you pass the account, whether you want to do stage one, whether you want to do stage two, you prove that you are profitable, and then you gain the account and get a profit split of 80 or 90% depending on the prop firm. Okay, but please, 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 I want you guys to get rid of the excuse of I don't have enough capital to do this. You don't, like, the barrier to entry for anyone in terms of actual trading is low because you don't need the money. You just, once you've learned the skill, it becomes so much easier to actually, number one, get funded or even start a live account. The most important thing is that you continue to do the same thing. And like we talked about, the only thing that changes are the numbers and the figures because you get a bigger account or you get funded or you go onto live from demo, but you don't change the process, you don't change the risk management, you definitely don't become me and start trading gold because you feel confident that you're now consistent because your account will be blown because I was risking basically all of it. So you don't do any of that stuff. I work shift patterns, work as a doctor. Amazing, first of all, amazing. I feel worried I won't be able to execute during the week because of work commitments. So this is literally exactly who this is for, right? Because if you have commitments, you can't always look at your phone. So by also us taking 1 to 2 trades a week, you're not having to be like, oh, I took a trade on Monday and I have to take one Tuesday, have to take one Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to do any of that. So if you have work and other commitments, this is perfect for you because you don't have to be glued to the screen. It's only when the alert actually goes off. The replay will be available after. Yeah, exactly. I work as well, so it suits me. Perfect. 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 Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys, I've been talking so much. Do you consider technical indicators? Oh, no, no, no. So I don't use any indicators apart from the 50 EMA, which is just an extra confluence. It's not even like, oh my gosh, if this is touching it, we have to sell, we have to buy. It's literally none of that. I focus strictly on price action. And in terms of the news, this is also actually a good question that led me onto this. I don't focus on trading the news because I know some people are like, oh my gosh, trading CPI, we're going to have this, we're going to have that. None of that stuff. Whenever the trade happens, we take it. As long as it is not during the market rollover period. So, for example, UK time is at 10 p.m. till 11 p.m. That's when the fees are extremely, extremely high. We don't want to be taking trades there. But even trading sessions, we take them when the trade occurs. Usually, the most common one is pre-London/London session. I did also see a question of where are you based? I am based in the UK, but like I mentioned at the start, I do like to travel a little bit, and my main two locations are the US and America. tax-free. Sadly, it is not. I wish it was, but sadly not. And I can't give out any advice on that. Sadly, it is not. I wish it was, but sadly not. And I can't give out any advice on that. Sadly, you have to consult an accountant. That is right. So yeah, the win rate is 60 to 70% win rate. It's hard to say annual return because it depends on your account. I don't have a strict percentage for you. So sadly, that is hard, but it is 80 to 60 to 70%. I'm getting all mixed up now. No futures. It is just currency trading, aka Forex. Yeah, the replay will be on email. No spread betting, no spread betting, literally just the basic Forex, no spread betting. Great, thank you. Perfect. Oh, no question, but I really love your teaching style. Thanks for the advice. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. I really appreciate that. No indices, just Forex, guys. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. And thank you for helping on, and hopefully I'll see you guys inside. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and hope I'm glad I got to know you guys a little bit more. Hope you understood me a little bit and got to know me, if you don't know me. But yeah, the recording will be sent out to you guys. Thank you so much. I am super excited to have you inside, and yeah, hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, lovely weekend, and yeah, take care. Thank you so much once again. I'll catch you guys very soon. Let me stop sharing. Perfect. Thank you. Fantastic webinar. I appreciate you guys. It means a lot. Thank you guys. Take it easy.